Hi guys, and welcome back to another Tech Minds video. So back in May this year, I made a UHF high pass filter from a blank PCB, and the machine that I used to make that was this. Now this is the Engraver Air from Makera. Now while this is one of the best home CNC machines I've used, it may have been a little out of range for some users. So Makera have now created this. This is the Makera Z1. And, well, this costs less than $1,000, which makes it a lot more accessible for many more users. Now, size-wise, it's 350mm wide, 470mm deep, and 450mm tall. And it weighs only 17 kilograms, making it ideal for desktops in your office or even your workshop. It's fully enclosed with a tiltable lid, and this helps keep out any noise while it's in use and also keep all those milled bits of stock inside and not on your desk. Now what you'll also notice to the left of the Z1 there is the new cyclone dust collector. Now more on that in a moment. Now the working area measures 200mm by 200mm and the Z-axis working area is 100mm. That's the distance between the working area and the drill motor. What's interesting here is that the surface area under the working area plate is actually slanted towards the rear. It may be a little difficult to tell in the video here, but this is so that any waste material will fall towards the back, where the dust collector can easily suck it up. Now inside the Z1 you'll see this one-piece cast aluminium frame. Now this keeps the Z1 absolutely rock solid. There's also a camera installed just to the left. And this is so that you can view the job in real time from the Makera controller software. The tool changer is super quick, and with just a pull on this lever, the included 1/8 of an inch collect will release the attached bit. Now this makes changing bits during a work job extremely fast. There's no messing around with spanners or nuts to undo. Now above that 150 watt brushless motor, which is used for drilling, you'll find a fan, which is designed to blow air down towards the bit. Now this can aid with cooling and also blowing away any removed material from your projects. On the side of the drill motor, there's a Z probe which can be used for auto leveling. This also includes a laser which can be activated when a job starts. Now it will outline on the material the boundaries of your job just to make sure that the drill bit will not touch any of the mounts or supports that you've used to hold that stock in place. The optional cyclone dust collector can be used manually using that rotary control located on the front. However, it can also be used in automatic mode, which puts the control over to the Z1. Now on the back of the Z1, there's two ports like this. One is for the cable, which connects to that cyclone dust collector, and the other is for the emergency stop button. Now this emergency stop button is included with the Z1, and to be honest, you should really always have it connected and in reach in case of any emergencies and you need to stop the job fast. On the bottom of the Z1, there's a hole, which is for the pipe which connects the Z1 to the cyclone dust collector. On the Z1, the pipe just pushes in, but the dust collector itself, you need to push on and then turn to lock in place. And there we have the back of the dust collector and the back of the Z1, just so you can see how they connect to each other. Now, before we move on to making some things with the Z1, let's take a look at some of the example stock that you can get when you order the Z1. Now, here is a range of materials from aluminium sheets to acrylic, epoxy, wood, etc. Now, the Z1 can handle almost any type of material. That's almost. I think steel you have to be extremely careful with, but I believe it can still do steel, but you need to do it really slow. Other items included in the kit contains things like this, a sand block, a small saw, even this nice pouch which can contain a variety of drill bits. Hardware-wise, you do get a selection, all neatly bagged up and labelled. Now those L brackets we'll use on the main working platform. Now this is so that we can align stock up correctly to the edge of that wasteboard. Another option is a laser module, which I believe is 5 watt, and it does come with a snazzy set of green glasses. I think the Engraver Air came with red glasses, but these ones are now green. Now this laser can be used for laser engraving onto a whole host of various materials. Now this is designed more for laser engraving and not cutting through material. Another option for the Z1 is this. Now this is the 4th axis. Imagine this as a little mini lathe add-on, allowing you to insert stock and mill that stock while it's turning. Now this can prove very useful when manufacturing small 3D parts that have roundness to them. One of the first things I install is those corner brackets just on top of that wasteboard there. Now you will notice holes in that wasteboard which are aligned perfectly for the bolts to hold that bracket in place. Now as this channel is primarily a channel relating to ham radio, well, let's make some ham radio related items. So first I'll use some clear acrylic, and this job will first perform an engraving using an engraving bit. And nothing too spectacular to start off with. This will just be my logo or the words Tech Minds. Now that looks quite nice, I think. I think it done a quite a good job, even though that the plastic is clear. Next I'll change the bit, and this time to a more suitable bit for milling through plastic. Now working with plastics is actually kind of nice because it can be relatively faster compared to when working with materials like aluminium. After a quick vacuum and blow, the final design is finished. Now can you guess what it is yet? Well, it's this, an extremely simple dipole center. Of course, this was just a quick 2D design that I knocked up in Photoshop. It didn't even really need a 3D model to make this. Remember, this is just an example, and if I was going to use this properly, I probably would have made some more relief holes for those wires and possibly make a space for a balun or a choke of some kind. Remember, this is just an example to show you guys what can be made with this Makera Z1. Now, while we're working with plastics, let's pop in this black piece of plastic. I think this measures 100mm by 150mm and it's 5mm thick. I think that's the same as that clear piece of acrylic that we tested a moment ago. You can see here how the probe at the start of the job will go over the project outline with the laser. Starting off though, we do the same as before. I engrave a logo or just some words just so that we can see the use of multiple bits in the same job. Now I think that looks quite nice and quite detailed. Now with the engraving done, I need to change bits so that I can actually now mill out the shape of what we're actually building here. Now as that bit goes down into the plastic and it starts cutting out, can you actually guess what it is? Well, it's just a very basic but super handy wire winder. You might notice some imperfections on the edges there. Well, there were the tabs which we use to stop the stock from moving when you're cutting out shapes. Using a small file or the included sanding block will actually get rid of these. Now the next example, let's try and get a little bit more creative. This time we're going to use some double-sided copper-clad PCB. Now when it comes to making circuit boards with the Z1 or any CNC machine, you'll most likely want to use an engraving bit. Of course, within the software, you really need to ensure that you do not go too deep either, just enough to remove that layer of copper. Now because I'm using double-sided PCB, have you actually guessed what I'm making yet? Well, I'm making this. It's a PCB antenna. Of course, I need to attach an SMA socket so we can connect it to a device that we want to use this antenna on, so soldering one on is super easy. Now the main element is 3.2mm wide, and that's a single track on this side. On the other side is a form of ground plane. Now can you guess what frequency it's for? Well, after soldering the SMA socket, I connected it to my VNA, which is a device for measuring resonance on an antenna. Well, that's just one of its features. It can measure lots of other things too. But for the purpose of this video, we want to check the SWR on a particular frequency. So if we do a sweep from 800 MHz to 1.1 GHz, we can see a nice dip around 869 MHz, which is in the LoRa band, well, at least here in the UK. And yet, it does work. I connected it up to a Meshtastic device and managed to make a few contacts around the local area via LoRa. Now, I haven't really spoken about the software, and that's because software in the Makera world is about to change dramatically and for the better in the near future. Makera are working on a full AI-powered website for sharing models and new CAM software to assist with building faster. Currently, unless you're using programs like Fusion 360, you need 3 applications to get a job done. First, you need design software, whether it's 2D or 3D, and then you need CAM software, which takes the 2D or 3D design and converts that into G-code. Now that G-code, the Z1 needs to know where to point its bit, and then the controller software, which sends the G-code data to the machine. Like I said, things are changing soon, but if you'd like more information on the software side of things, then let us know and I'll gladly make a tutorial on the current workflow and again when the new software drops. Now for those of you that are long-term followers of my channel and here for the ham radio content, let me know down in the comments what you'd like to see me build next with the Makera Z1. Remember, it has to fit within the build plate dimensions and preferably just one piece, but let me know and I'll try and build it. Even better if you can supply links to 2D or 3D models. But if you provide a design and the idea, if I have the material, I'll try and make it, and then I'll make a video about it. Now, the Makera Z1 is available on Kickstarter. Now, I think at the time of making this video, the Kickstarter has a few more days to run. So if you're watching this after the Kickstarter has finished, by the way, it has been fully funded, then you'll most likely be able to purchase this on the Makera website. I'll leave links to all of this down in the description below. Anyway, guys, let us know down in the comments below what you think about the Makera Z1. Now, I know, like I said before, this is a ham radio content channel, but with ham radio, we do like to build things. If you're not just a black box user that just uses ham radio products to talk, you like to get involved with the technical side of things, having something like this would really help you in building things. I've used my Makera Carvera Air so many times for making PCBs, whether it's filters, circuit boards for controllers, for amplifiers. It just makes life so much easier and you don't have to wait weeks or days for PCBs to arrive from China. You can literally just go ahead and knock up a prototype first on your Makera CNC machine. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about it in the comments and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.